The year, 1967. A mysterious statue of Origin is sold to the Metropolitan Museum of Art for a mere $225. The angel, as it is referred, was thought to be the work of famed painter and sculptor Michelangelo. Or was it? As the clues mount, it is up to a runaway brother and sister duo to piece them together to solve this puzzling conundrum. But what else would they find in the process? Danger? Adventure? Secrets? Themselves? All this is up next on Mysteries at the Metropolitan. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is known to house many great relics from throughout history. Items that give us a glimpse into the past, many of which the origin has been confirmed. However, what would happen if the origin of an acquired artifact was unknown? That leads us to our next mystery, a statue that was purchased at auction in 1967 for $225. What a bargain, you might be thinking. But upon closer examination, a familiar seal is discovered, that of famous painter and sculptor Michelangelo. How did the Met find such a bargain? Where did it come from? Was it authentic? Perhaps the secret lies in the adventures of two children from Greenwich, Connecticut, and the mixed-up files of a now reclusive, wealthy benefactor. A series of letters and some detective work by the protagonists helped to provide clues to the authenticity of the statue. Who sculpted it? Was it truly the work of the great Michelangelo? Here, in the book From the Mixed-Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, the account begins as follows. Claudia knew that she could never pull off the old-fashioned kind of running away. That is, running away in the heat of anger with a knapsack on her back. She didn't like discomfort. Even picnics were untidy and inconvenient. All those insects and the sun melting the icing on the cupcakes. Therefore, she decided that her leaving home would not just be running from somewhere, but running to somewhere. To a large place, a comfortable place, an indoor place, and preferably a beautiful place. And that's why she decided upon the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. She planned very carefully. She saved her allowance, and she chose her companion. She chose Jamie, the second youngest of her three younger brothers. He could be counted on to be quiet, and now and then he was good for a laugh. Besides, he was rich. Unlike most boys his age, he had never even begun collecting baseball cards. He saved almost every penny he got. But Claudia waited to tell Jamie that she had decided upon him. She couldn't count on him to be that quiet for that long, and she calculated needing that long to save her weekly allowances. It seemed senseless to run away without money. Living in the suburbs had taught her that everything costs. She had to save enough for train fare and a few expenses before she could tell Jamie or make final plans. In the meantime, she almost forgot why she was running away, but not entirely. Claudia knew that it had to do with injustice. She was the oldest child and the only girl, and was subject to a lot of injustice. So, run away they did. She decided that they should run away on a Wednesday, music lesson day. They would hide their instruments in their rooms and use their instrument cases and backpacks as suitcases. With their combined total of $24.43 and an unused adult train fare card that she found in her parents' bedroom trash can, Claudia and Jamie began their journey to New York City. One extended school bus ride, a train ride, and a 40-block walk later, and they arrived at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Little did they know, their adventure would deepen into an experience that would give Claudia the kind of change that she needed, one that was on the inside. Through clues gathered inside the museum and from library research, they stumbled upon the name of someone who might be able to help them piece everything together, Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. As the narrator of the story, Mrs. Frankweiler had a first-hand account of the adventure the children have experienced, as well as insight into their greatest mystery of all, themselves. All the adventures eventually came to an end, but it's what you carry on the inside that immortalizes it. Angel became part of Claudia's story about finding herself, about how the greatest adventure lies not in running away, but in looking inside, and the greatest discovery is not in finding out who made a statue, but in finding out what makes you. Signed, Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. So, go down to your local library or bookstore and pick up your copy of From the Mixed-Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. You will love this classic story and hopefully make an adventure of your own. Happy reading!